World Tank Blitz, Armoured Pants here. Have a video for you, a review of the KpfPz 70, which is currently in the stores and for sale. And here it is here in all its glory, 14,000 gold, which is about 38 euros, about 35 pounds sterling, about $44. And they also want then an extra 2,100 gold for the special steel cavalry camo, which quite literally is taking the piss, to be honest. I mean, they want an extra 7-8 euros, $10, £6 for just the camo on what they're already charging almost 40 euros for, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean, is it a fucking premium tank or not? Surely a premium tank should come with everything. I think this is just wargaming, just really taking the piss out of us gamers. I mean, I don't mind them charging for tanks, especially good and unusual tanks like this, but I mean, that's really ripping the piss, isn't it? I mean, just give fucking everything with it, would you? I mean, what's this bullshit? Anyway, let's have a look at it here. Let's have a look at the tech specs. So it's a tier 9 heavy tank. It has a very, very strong turret, not so strong lower armor. It has a big gun, 152mm gun. Also, because this tank was developed in the 1960s, it actually has an experimental type of gun, which is effectively a sort of rocket propelled shell. So it has fantastic muzzle velocity. Even without calibrated shells, it's almost 1,000 meter per second round, which is pretty impressive. You could run calibrated shells on it, but it does have a very long reload time, so therefore I don't run it, but that's a matter of choice. So I run gun rammer so that I get the reload just over 14 seconds rather than 15 should you use the calibrated shells. I mean, the reload is very, very long. Plus it has a big gun with lots of pen, so I mean, I don't think you need calibrated shells, but it's a matter of personal opinion. I know some people always use calibrated shells. As I said, 152mm gun. It has 6 degrees of gun depression, 15 degrees of elevation, and it has great pen numbers, so the gun will penetrate. Let's have a look at the armor profile. I mean, you can get bounces off the whole armor, but really its strength is the turret armor. It is a really great hold down tank. It does 40 kilometers an hour as well, so it's pretty fast for a heavy tank, and it can get around the map pretty easily. It has decent reverse speed too. You can see on the back it has virtually no armor will be penetrated. But now if you look here in the front, if we look here, that's against tier 10. Now against tier 9, tier 8, you see it is difficult to pen. Even on the hull, but up on turret, it is. I mean, it's really a hold down tank. Okay, it's saying here it's not really good at anything, but it is. I mean, it's a hold down tank. It's okay, peekaboo. If you're top tier, definitely front line. Long range sniping, it's good at. Circle dent and brawling, not so good, but it is quite maneuverable for a heavy tank. So it is not so bad, especially if you're top tier. If you're top tier, you can actually bully a lot in this tank. You can get into a frontline position, get hull down, and you can really sort of dominate the game in it. So it is overall a pretty good tank. Historically, this tank never went into mass production. It was a collaboration between Americans and the Germans, and they both went their separate ways. And then the Germans came up with this KpfPz 70 from that initial research, but it wasn't in mass production. So this first game is Desert Sands. Now, what I decided to do is I decided to go to the desert because I think that we're going to get flanked. So I leave it in our heavies, which is a bit unorthodox, I know. But the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to use the hold down nature of this tank. So if you're in, holy shit, that didn't take very long, did it? That was like the first time I had sex, just bam, over, done. ISU, they're saying that was easy. It was pretty easy actually, one shot at them, I think, didn't he? So I wanted to get into the desert because firstly I thought we were going to get flanked, but secondly I wanted to use I want to get my hull down, so just put the turret up and give me a chance to utilize the tank strengths. So as I said, this is somewhat unorthodox play. I'm a heavy tank. I didn't go to the right hand side of the map. I'm out here in the desert, but I didn't want to get flanked. As I said, the back of this tank is vulnerable, and a T-49 would go right through the back of this if he came around behind us, if I was on the pushing up on the right hand side. But instead I'm out in the desert. I can utilize the tank's gun, and I can also utilize its main strength, which I've said a couple of times already, is its really fantastic turret armor. As I said, the tank is also maneuverable. You can see here it gets around the desert relatively well, and it doesn't behave always like a heavy tank. It has decent acceleration. It is pretty maneuverable. You can see there back and forth, so it is sort of quite terrain friendly, quite agile for a heavy tank. Obviously it's not quite a medium tank, but it is far more maneuverable in terms of acceleration, traverse, etc. Its ability to get around the map than your standard heavy tank. So see here, I'm able to shoot, get into cover. Now I'm trying to get sight onto him, and I'm going to take one. But you can see here that when I get a chance to put one into him, we're straight into the drive wheel, nice massive alpha roll, and then it's a nice easy kill for me in the CDC. By the way, the CDC guy has a fucking great game. The two of us kind of carry this a bit. Now it's 3v3, but we've got the ST1 is just taking out our imps. Now it's 3v2. But I have a kill shot here on the ST1, and you can see how good the gun is. It is accurate. It does nice damage, and it's got a pen. Just telling the CDC here to go around behind, because we need to get both sides of them. As always in these situations, if you're an experienced player, you will know this, but if you're not such an experienced player, in these situations try to go either side rather than going face on, especially when one of you is in a tank with no armor like the CDC is. Now these guys are in a bit of a conundrum, because when we're on both sides of them, they can't really utilize their firepower, and we have an opportunity now to put them in the crossfire. I'm just going to have a quick look out here just to see what's going on, because they've gone out, and I take one, and I'm not going to pop out again because I know that guy has a clip, so he could have 2 more rounds sprint to me, which would make things really bad for us. But the CDC is doing a great job drawing their attention, and that allows me to come in and take this guy out, bounce one shot, and now it's game over. The CDC is just going to finish them off, and it's the end of the AMX. That was a really good game for us, I thought. Unorthodox playstyle for me, as I said, but in the end it worked, and I think any game that you win, it works, right? So there you go, and 4 kills for me, 3 for the CDC. Over 3k damage, so fairly decent game. You can do lots of damage in games in this tank, because you're going to be getting alpha rolls anything from 5 to 650, and if you get HE in, then anything up to, well, I mean, I've actually got alpha rolls of 1100, 1200 on it. If you're firing into a leopard or something like that with a HE round, you can one-shot a lot of tanks too with a HE round too, because it is a massive gun. You know, it's a slightly bigger caliber gun that's on the waffle tractor, so you can see it's very effective. And the muzzle velocity means that you're going to cover long distances with a lot of penetration. So it's a fantastic gun, and can be utilized very well. Now, this tank is a good tank. It's great if you can get hull down. As I said, you can utilize the gun, and it really is an unusual tank too. It looks different to other tanks with the special camo. It looks really good. And as a premium tank, it's not available so often. Also, there are not so many tier 9 premium tanks. So it is something that's worthwhile getting. Whether or not it's worth the money, it's a different matter, right? It is expensive. I just wanted to show this a little bit. I'm not going to show the whole game. I don't want to bore you. Just a little bit of gameplay here, just utilizing the tank strengths. You know, I feel like a broken record saying that, you know, it is really a hull down tank, but you can see here just how good the gun is, and how good. That was my own fault. I came up too far. I exposed the hull, but you can see when I'm only exposing the turret, I bounced the first shot there, and I'm going to bounce another shot from the IS-6 as well. And just when the turret's up, it is just a really fantastically effective tank. And then you see how good the gun is. So I'm bouncing shots and I'm putting shots in on targets, for example the turret on the Panther 2 and the front of the IS6 that you might not normally pen. It's no problem to this gun once you aim it properly and you know, let the aiming circle settle. It won't let you down. And just a little bit more here, I want to show you a little bit more passage of play about how maneuverable the tank is. I decided to move up now because I want to put pressure on them and I want to go a bit front line. I am top tier here, so you can see how maneuverable the tank is. I decide just to push on here now, and I can get from this position here right into pushed on position, going ahead of the AMX and being front line for my team pretty quickly. You'll see here I'm going to go up the stairs and you'll see how maneuverable it is, just up, straight up like a dwarf at an orgy, straight in there. And here I'm in a sort of a brawl situation here with the IS6. And you can see that how maneuverable it is, right? So I'm back, not giving him a shot, back again, difficult for him to aim, and then MMA takes him out eventually. But I think I would have taken him out and bounced that shot anyway because I have my turret facing down. And then lastly then another kill, and then we went on to win this game. But I just wanted to show you that passage of play just to show exactly how good this tank is in those positions. But then it's up to you what you think. I mean, it's approximately 45 euros if you want to buy it with the special camo. It is pretty expensive, but if you've got some money, it is worth it. It's a decent and unusual tank. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Talk to you soon. Cheers. Subscribe, follow, whatever, or not. Cheers. Take care. See you now, boys. Cheers.